Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're working on our little skeleton head centerpiece, and I bought it just like that from Dollar Tree. Your project's going to cost you a couple bucks and some of the leftover items that you have just laying around. It's fun to do, and we'll show you how to make it even spookier. Let's get started. I found these at Dollar Tree, and they're so simple to do. They're really easy. But we're going to kind of spook them out, make them a lot scarier than they are. We're just going to use black acrylic paint. And we're just going to use a dry brush. And I just came in and kind of put it in the lines. And you could use a liner brush if you wanted to get it more precise in there. But I'm going to come back in and just kind of flip it out here and there, so it's not a big deal. If you don't like something that we're doing, just wipe it off. That's all you have to do. And see, we've kind of got that going on. Then you've got the little part showing there, so we're getting that kind of spooky little feel. So that's all coming in nice, and you can do as little or as much as you want to do. And we've got this nice one down the scar of his head. I'm probably going to even line him a little bit with my liner brushes, much to do the one all the way across his head and around there. So anywhere where it's kind of sunken in or gives you an indentation, we want to kind of do. Now I've got less paint in my brush, so I'm just kind of playing with those a little bit. I got a little bit too much there. We'll wipe it off. And I'm going to come back in with one of my liners. I think I'm going to use a smaller liner. This is even a smaller piece. But just do it your way. Just because somebody tells you you have to do it a certain way doesn't mean that's the way you have to do it. So I'm just going to clean these lines up. We've got those on the outside, so those look really good. See how much that's added already to them? And then we're just going to keep on going around in here. My husband told me to add a gold tooth to it. It looked really kind of cool, so we'll paint a gold tooth. Of course, it's a pirate guy. He probably had a couple of gold teeth. Either that or diamond. I'm not sure how that would work, but oh well. So, I'm going to come around, kind of even do there. This side's different than that side. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my smaller dry brush here. One of the first things I do is they usually are not filled in very black, and that really helps. If you do anything to these and that's all you're going to do the nose and the eyes, but the teeth are really cool too. So we're going to get those blackened up. I'm going to probably do one more layer on those. Let's see how much that already helps. We've got some cheekbones here. And right this jaw area. And just kind of dry brushing it, meaning we don't have any water in it. We're just doing it kind of with a dry brush. And then on these, we have all of these little lines above the teeth. And then I went ahead and did some at the bottom. There's not quite as many, but you can make them too. You don't have to have them there to do it. We've got some lines there. Just going to bring that out. There is no right or wrong. It's just how you see it. Okay, I am going to fill in our teeth here real quick before we finish painting them with the black. You don't want them white, stark white. You could probably even use an ivory, and you could put a little bit of gray over them too if you wanted to. Because I want these to dry because we're going to pull the black over them. Do what my husband said, and we're going to make one of these gold tooth just for the fun of it. Why not? Okay, so we're going to give those a second to dry. And while those are drying, we're just going to take a rough brush, a kid's brush, one that's really got the bristles, and we're going to, again, no water, we're going to dry brush, and we're going to do some of these areas that we haven't done anything with, just so that it is not so stark. And you can do it in a crosshatch section. You can do it if you think I should follow the skull. Just anyway, now you can see I'm barely getting into my paint and pulling it out, and that's how come I'm not getting that much paint. That's really the secret to that. So really kind of think about that. And I have a lot less on this one than I did my first one, and I like that. I'm going to do this guy a little bit more there. I want that more visible. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to coat these one more time. After you're done with these, if you want to varnish them, I would use a matte varnish, non-yellow, Krylon, Rust-Oleum, anything inexpensive from Walmart. Do 2 or 3 coats on it. Okay, now I'm going to try and get back in these teeth a little bit. Cover up any of those white that have gone up too far or down too long. I need to get in between, just like your dentist would want you to. And I'm going to come back in with my liner. Just pull those down. This is not perfect. We don't want it perfect. It won't look good if you do it perfect. I am going to come in and get those right in there like that on both sides. And I am going to come across, I think I'm going to use this brush. It's a little bit kind of wider. But you could use your liner in here. Again, it's not a big deal. Okay, and then I'm just going to lightly put a little bit of black on it. You could do the gray if you thought you'd rather have that. So we've got that pretty good here. I'm going to just very subtle add some white highlights here. Again, just dipping into the edge of your paint, just where everything kind of sticks forward or out, or cheekbones, something that's just opposite of where it's sunk in. Just a little bit right there. And we're going to be pretty good. Now, the one other little creepy factor I did with these is I did go ahead and do a tiny, tiny dot with the tip of my brush, dip it all the way in the paint, and I put it right in the back of that eye. So you kind of got that pierced look coming back at you. Now, I did this one a lot lighter than I did this one, but there is no right or wrong. Just work with it until you have that where you want it. Come back and we'll finish them up. So I found some diamond wrap also at Dollar Tree, and I just cut it on sections as wide as I wanted it. I did one on the bottom and two on each of these areas. And if you had the diamond wrap that was self-adhesive, you wouldn't need to glue it on. But I'm going to glue mine on with E6000. E6000 is that amazing, amazing glue that glues just about anything to just about anything. We do carry it at miriamjoy.com. A lot of times we have buy one, get one free with that. So I'm just going to put that on. Keep that towards the back. And we're going to do a ribbon. And so we want to kind of think about how our bow goes. We're not going to tie our bow. We're just going to, in a knot anyway, we're just going to tie it with our pipe cleaner. But we want to think about how big we want this. I want this a little bit smaller. That's too big. And I've got that guy coming this way. I think that's just about right. I'm going to work on this in just a little bit better here after I wrangle him in. I need my bows the same length on each side. I got one a little bit taller here. If I can pull that over a little bit. There we go. And we're going to cut this up to an angle to match our other one. And this can be just leftover ribbon. I found some of these ribbon, I think this one I got on clearance, but just pieces. That's all you need. It's just pieces. So that's really nice to know. And we're just going to take this guy now. I want to make sure that it's kind of twisted that way. And I'm going to put him, either up or down. I can't decide yet. Now on this guy, I'm going to twist him once. I'm going to bring him back towards the front. And that's because I can tie this off, hide it a little bit better than I can in the back. So I'm going to use my wire clippers to cut it here. Alright, now that we've got that on, I have some little garland picks. Sometimes you find these in a row and sometimes you find them on a pick. And I am going to use those, and I'm going to do 3 for each side. So I'm going to put like one of those there and there. We've got some longer ones and some shorter ones. Okay, so I'm just going to hot glue these in the ribbon, kind of in that center. I want the tall one in the middle and the 2 smaller ones on the side. And we're going to do the other side too, real quick. Make sure you get your glue tails. I always can see my glue tails in my pictures. I can't physically see them as well as you can on your camera. If you ever want to know where they're at, look at them that way. And I'm going to put a little pumpkin in the center of the sky to cover him all up. And the other ones, I just had some glitter balls, vase fillers. I also thought about a little spider. But I just make it, use whatever you have. Keep it simple. And we are done. Well, I hope you learned a lot with that. And just taking something so simple and just by adding a few items to it, creating something fun and festive. I hope you have a happy and safe Halloween from Miriam Joy.